Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. If you are an excuse maker, you are going to love today's podcast. Maybe you're wanting to finally stick to your fitness plan. Maybe you're just restarting, or maybe you just need to get started. And those excuses keep popping up over and over and having you go off your plan. So let's totally burn those up. I'm about to give you some tough love and even get on my soapbox a little, but I'm also going to give you some very simple solutions. Stay tuned. Hey there, my friend. Perry Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast, The Power of Possibility, Passion, and Purpose. And thanks so much for tuning in. I heard this the other day from my trainer, Amala Caesar. Movement is medicine. Take that in for a second. Movement is medicine. Isn't that powerful? Now, before I give you strategies on breaking through all these excuses, because a lot of us want, let's face it, excuses are pretty convenient to use, right? Especially when we want to get out of something. And if you keep making excuses, most of the time for people, it's because your why isn't strong enough and you aren't feeling it. Now, I know sometimes people talk about having a deep why and they dismiss it. They dismiss it as like, no, that's not it. I just need to start going and doing the things that I'm supposed to do. But I'm telling you what, you really gotta dig deep. Otherwise, it's going to be a big miss for you in getting anything done. There's always going to be an excuse. Let's say, for instance, you want to lose 30 pounds or tone up or get in shape. I always ask, people will often tell me that, I'm like, what are your health and fitness goals? And they'll usually give me an answer, something to that effect. And what I always ask people when they tell me that is, why? What will that do for you? Because when you answer that question, then you can start to begin to dig deep into the real reason. The real reason isn't, I want to lose 30 pounds or I want to tone up or I want to get in shape. There's a deep reason behind it. So once you get that answer, then you ask yourself, why is that answer important to me? And then once you give yourself that answer, you ask yourself why again. And you do this 7 levels deep. So you can get so deep that the reason and the desire and what it is that you're wanting to accomplish is so solid that there's no way you're going to let any excuse get in your way. For instance, for me, I started with wanting to lose my beer gut because I just didn't like what I saw in the mirror. And, it sounds like a superficial thing, but, that was what planted in my mind. But when I dug deep, what I was really figuring out was I wanted to avoid diabetes. I had seen my family struggle with this. I saw the side effects of this horrible disease, and I noticed the unhealthy habits that I was doing. I was on that same path, even though I vowed I never would be. There I was doing the same thing, and it was zapping my energy. It was zapping my mood. It was zapping. It was just making me overweight and stressed out even more, and made even the possibility of getting in shape seem further and further and further away. And I just saw my family members going through this. And I'm like, man, I want to be there for my family. I want to be there for my friends. I want to set an example for what's possible. And if I just start to make some tweaks and set aside these excuses, I think I can do something. So I needed to take control. I needed to be responsible. I had to say to myself, I can totally do this. It's a matter of just being consistent. And I would just keep saying to myself, believe, trust the process. So rock on. Now we are getting somewhere. So you get yourself a powerful mindset to leverage. When you've got that why, you can leverage against most of those lame excuses. Now, before I give you the awesome solutions and leveraging why, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Whether this is your first time tuning in or your regular listener, thank you so much for being here. I mean, that's a big deal. And if you're listening on the podcast app, please be sure to drop in, leave an honest rating and review. That helps others discover the show. And if you're over on YouTube watching the video version, please be sure and be a friend. just smash that subscribe button and the notifications bell so you don't miss a show. And it'd be super awesome if you left a comment in there. I do get in and answer those every week, and that helps with the YouTube algorithm as well. So you absolutely rock, my friend. And now here's a huge reality. Maybe it's a soapbox, maybe it's not. So many people, and I was once one of them. I'm not discounting where I was at, but so many people sit on the sidelines wishing and hoping and praying for things to change, that they're going to get this magic strike of inspiration that will make them unstoppable, right? Yet we overthink what to do or how to do it. We overanalyze, and we're trying to find that magic wand or that magic pill. And all that time, we're just wasting taking no action when actually a 30-minute exercise session could have already been done, right? I mean, and some of the excuses I'm going to talk about today, you'll see where that interjects. But if you're sick and tired of the excuses and you're ready to make a change, just say to yourself right now, I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay, here's what to do with all those excuses. And first of all, it would be easy for me to give strategy, but here's an easy one. It's to ink them, don't think them. Write all of the excuses down just so you could see them on paper. Now, I know some of you aren't going to do this, right? But do it. It's a powerful exercise. Write them all down, and then you start sorting them. Putting a 1 next to all the ones that you could totally control and eliminate just like that. Putting a 4 next to the ones that's like, no way, I can't, I'm not going to get rid of my kids. I'm not going to get rid of my job. I'm not going to get rid of my limitations that I may have. So those become a 4, something that it's like an obstacle that's going to always be there. So you got to deal with it, figure it out a way. And then 2s and 3s next to the ones that are maybe closer to a 1 or closer to a 4. Okay, and then you just start getting legit and really clear, and you start taking charge of those 1s and those 2s, and that's where you're going to find yourself having a big shift, and you're going to have some big breakthroughs and gain momentum. I mean, go ahead right now. Maybe you can mentally do this, or maybe it's just like flex your arm while you're listening there, that you're ready to have momentum, because you can totally influence your excuses. Here's the ones that I hear all the time, and I'll sprinkle in a few other ones. I don't have time. You know what? A lot of times it boils down to priorities, but you got to make the time. It's not finding the time; it's making the time. It's rescheduling. It's looking at your day, of how you're spending the time. The mindlessly scrolling social, the binging on Netflix, the other things that you're interjecting in there that you really could do to make yourself a priority. And I'm going to tell you what, when you do put yourself as a priority and you start to shift and you're feeling better and you're getting healthier, other time pockets tend to open up. Where can you find 15 to 25 minutes that could possibly be used more effectively? That's what I did. Another one, I'm not a morning person. I wasn't either. You know what? You don't have to exercise in the morning, although I've become a morning person, and only because when I get it done during the morning, then the rest of the day isn't controlling and creating extra excuses, if you will. But seriously, it's finding a time that works for you and making that your regular workout time. It's that simple. I used to do it when I got home, let the dogs out, changed, and then when I let the dogs in, went and hit my workout. I made that a ritual. I made that a routine. I wouldn't sit down. I wouldn't relax. I wouldn't chill. I wouldn't have dinner or eat until I got my workout done. Another excuse I hear is I'm lacking motivation. Motivation rocks when it's here, but it's not always going to stick around. You cannot count on motivation to kick in. And a lot of people do. They're just waiting. I'm waiting to get motivated, right? That's why your why has to be so deep that you just show up and do it anyway. Even if it's a short workout, I used to have this little non-negotiable contract with myself. And like, if I'm not feeling it, you still have to show up 15 or 20 minutes anyway and just go through the motions even. And a lot of times by just going through that motion, I would complete the whole workout, but I would always commit to that 15 to 20 minutes. Mixing up your routine, finding something that you truly enjoy. Maybe it's swimming, maybe it's exercising with a friend to keep you accountable. So you've got that. Another one I hear is I'm too sore. You know what? embrace that. We've all been there. It's actually proof that you're making progress and you're changing your body to it should give you more reason to move your body. If you're super crazy sore, then do what we call an active recovery, like walking or swimming or cycling, or just, you know what, if your upper body sore, then work the lower half. Use the muscles that aren't sore. Okay. Another one that people say is, I'm not seeing results. And I think this is what stops a lot of people, especially with their New Year's resolution, is we want to see results relatively quickly, and we don't. That was a big one for me. Pushing through all that soreness and not seeing any results, nothing with weight, nothing with size, the inches losing. It was frustrating, but I realized I had to flip that script. My goal was to focus on activity and just showing up. And I put an X on the calendar. Say I showed up, I got my workout in, focusing on variety and intensity and consistency and the big one, nutrition. I really had to look at what was going into my mouth if I really wanted to see the results of my hard work. In the beginning, it's more important to focus on the habit first and build that consistency than it is to see the results. I know that's really, a really tough one to get your mind around. But build the habit first and the results will come. Build the habit first. Just show up. Congratulate yourself. Pat yourself on the back. I showed up. I did my best. Next day, I showed up. I did my best. Next day, I showed up. I did my best. When you are getting all of those victories, you're unstoppable. It's when you let all the other mindset things in there. It's like, I should have lost 10 pounds by now. I should have lost 4 inches off my waist by now. This isn't working. You just haven't given enough time yet. So what are some other excuses? I'm too tired. Funny thing about exercise, it gives you more energy. You can feel energy just even after a quick energy training or after a quick training session, or just even getting up and walking around the office. If you sit at a desk a lot and you start just to get up and walk around, you'll feel a different energy surge happen for you. And if you truly are really bonking with energy, just maybe take a look at your sleeping habits. Maybe go to bed earlier at night. Turn off the TV and the social media. But making sure that your nutrition's on point and you're getting a lot of water every day. So eating what you put in your body can make a big difference on the energy levels, right? Especially if we're putting in like sugar and other things like that, it can zap our energy, even though it gives you little mini bursts. Another one that people do is compare themselves to others. You know what? This journey that you're on is unique to you. Every person was a beginner, and they had to start their journey somewhere. So don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 30. And actually, I'm going to go a little bit farther and say, don't compare your current chapter 1 to your chapter 20 from when you were 25 and in the best shape of your life and you used to bench press 500 pounds. You may know what that was, but you're in a different stage in life. You're in a different place, different starting point. Just go from there. Your goals are going to be different from your friends' goals, from other people at the gym. Knowing your goals and your why, and it's just showing up for yourself. If comparing yourself to others is one of the barriers to starting, then focus on something, focus on something that really motivates you. Share your goals with a workout buddy, somebody that can support you and hold you accountable and remind you why you started. Another one, it's too hard. Yep, you're right. Exercise is hard. It takes a lot of time. It doesn't seem fun, especially at the beginning. And you've got to become an excuse buster. Prove to yourself that you can do it. Focus on your why. Focus on your goals. One habit I really think is cool is to focus on the next 2 pounds. Instead of, if you've got a lot of weight to lose, just focus on the next 2, and then the next 2, and then the next 2. Here's what my friend Judy did. Now, you may have seen her on a previous podcast before, but her husband drew her kind of like a little coloring page of a hippie van with a bunch of flowers, peace symbols and stuff on there. And every time she lost 2 pounds, she got to color in a little flower. And she had like 100. Her goal was to lose 200 pounds. I know, 200 pounds. So she had like 100 flowers that she had, or 100 different sections that she could color on that hippie van. Every time she lost 2 pounds, colored in another one. And then she couldn't color in another one, so she hit the next 2 pounds. But that was always motivation to color that in. I've had people download like these little tennis shoes that are like marked off as 100 increments. A lot of people do it for trying to work out 100 consecutive days and coloring in one a day. But maybe one section is the next 2 pounds. Another exercise. I just don't feel like it. I'm just not into this exercise stuff. Once again, you've got to flip that script and make this non-negotiable. It's like taking care of a pet or a child. It's taking care of yourself. It's posting your why all over the house, using vision boards, your goals list. My wife, she has her goals list, 5 of them written as wallpaper on her phone. So she sees it all the time. So you've got to make this non-negotiable. There are going to be so many days that you just don't feel like it, and you just got to go and do it anyway. Another one, I don't enjoy exercise. That was me for a long time. I wish getting healthy and fit, I didn't have to get the exercise stuff part in there. I wish it could just happen, but it doesn't now. It's finding the right exercises and the right workouts that are right for you. I recommend picking one, and then if you're just not into it, change the style of training. Don't quit altogether. Do something because you enjoy it. Whether it's walking, dance, MMA, shadow boxing, swimming, biking, weights, cardio, yoga. If you haven't found that style that's your groove yet, keep trying. Another one I hear, especially this time of year, I'm going on vacation. I'll start after Labor Day, after Christmas, after Valentine's Day, after spring break. Okay. You know what? Don't stop training. When I'm on vacation, I'm still getting my workouts done. You might change the workouts that you do on vacation, but there are lots of workouts you can do under 30 minutes that are perfect when you're traveling. I mean, taking resistance band with you that you can easily put in your luggage. So sometimes people give themselves a license while they're on vacation as an excuse to not work out. And they'll return, but they return feeling more sluggish and totally out of it and more frustrated with themselves that it's harder to get back into it after vacation. So it's just keep that momentum going. Use the resorts, use the hotel gyms, go for a nice exhilarating walk or hike. Just know this, you can overcome anything that you put your mind to. You just got to have that deep desire to achieve, trust, and believe. This is a journey. You got to embrace it. It's never too late to start, but you got to get started and keep going no matter what. Progress takes hard work, and it's different for everybody. You've got to appreciate your body for what it can do. It's not about how many reps you can do or the number on the scale. It's about continuing to show up for yourself every single day. That was a biggest game changer for me and how I ended up losing over 50 pounds and ending that trend of obesity and that diabetes trend I was on. So there you have it. Hopefully you've realized that, whatever the circumstance, there's really no excuse to not be active. And it's just knowing that it's going to be worth it. I mean, there's so many opportunities that open for you when you feel happy, healthy, fit, and fulfilled. And just get ready to feel younger and crush those excuses, my friend. I'm cheering you on as you embark on healthier habits. And I know once you get that habit going, it becomes a non-negotiable for you and you really start to see the results. And as you continue on that healthy lifestyle of yours, remember that it's more than just the physical transformation. You got to pay attention to the internal transformation. How are you thinking? How are you feeling? Are you feeling better? Do you have more energy? What about your confidence? That's the power of consistent, healthy habits. I mean, it's totally incredible. So, and if you'd like more motivation, support, tips, and strategies, then join my Upside Down Fitness community. We're a fun group of people striving for being healthier, living happier, especially in this awesome chapter of life. 52 weeks of free coaching I give you. I promise you'll love it. Head over to UpsideDownFit.com. That's all I have for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. Please be sure to subscribe, share, leave an honest rating and review in your podcast app, and that'll help others discover the show. And I think the universe will give you some major positive vibes for doing that. And if you're over on YouTube, please be sure to smash that subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get an alert each time a new show drops. You absolutely rock, my friend. That's all I have for this week. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.